What's up, y'all? This is Moochie, and you rocking with Moochilla's Review. So hit the hammer, because you came through. Ow. I'm talking about Hightown Season 2, Episode 9. The name of that episode is called Small Craft Warning. We're doing a breakdown of the episode scene for scene, see if we could pick out some predictions. So let's get into it. Ow. Santel is with Jackie. He has a crew and a group of search dogs out looking for Daisy. They are looking for quite a few hours, and Santel calls off the search because they're having no luck. Jackie gets upset. Santel explains that so far she's doing a good job. She made good connections, made sure that the parents filed a missing persons report, but they can't use all their resources here, so they're going to have to call off the search. But she was totally against it. Santel also lets her know they might never find Daisy. Renee gets a text from Ray. Did y'all know that Ray's number comes up in Renee's phone as CVS Pharmacy? Ow. She lets Ray know that Frankie's been acting real weird and he wants to see her. So she says it's going to take a second for her to get out of the house. Just as she was walking out of the house, Frankie stops her. Frankie takes her phone, tells her that we have to be really careful since you had that tracker, and blows her phone up in the microwave. Then he tells her that she's not going anywhere by herself, and for her safety, he puts Chuluta with her. Chuluta is watching her, taking her everywhere she has to go, and he's supposed to be with her every minute. Chuluto drops her to the supermarket. Chuluto's supposed to go inside this supermarket with her, but Ray is already outside, and he's waiting for her. So Renee shuts Chuluto down and tells him, you don't have to go in here with me. We don't have to tell Frankie. And he's like, no, I'm getting paid to do this. And then she says, okay, if you go in here with me, I'm telling Frankie, you're a pervert and you sniff my tampons. Chuluto's disgusted by that whole thing, and he tells her, Jorge was right about you. You pretty, but you have a nasty-ass mouth. Yeah, and Chuluto stays in the car after that. But she goes meets with Ray. She tells him how scared she is. She's really afraid for her life at this point because she was afraid that Chuluto might kill her. So Ray lets her know, let's just take off, you, me, and the kid. Let's just run away. And she's like, you don't understand. He put a dude on me. You're not going to see me for a while. Then she looks up in the mirror and she sees Chuluto walking in, and then they split away from each other. Osito and Vernon are in the cell, and he gets a call on his burner phone from Charmaine. So she lets Osito know that she's in New York and she might not be coming back. She's going to move up there because things is hot in the area and the Dominican don't know how to handle his business. Since Jorge's been missing, so he's been acting really weird. And he bodied somebody in front of her. He killed somebody in front of her. She said he was a nice dude. He taught her how to fly. So she does feel bad that Lance got killed. Charmaine wants to distance herself from Frankie, but she tells Osito, he's a good dude, and she's still going to look out for him and take care of him. Take care of him by bringing product up to the Cape. Now, my question is, since Lance taught her how to fly, and Osito's still going to be on the Cape, do you think they're going to have a little situation popping where she's going back and forth anyway? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. By Charmaine learning how to fly, and if she does learn how to fly professionally, that's going to up her game way beyond anything. Let me know what y'all think. Just a thought. Charmaine gets picked up by this dude named Robbie, and he's going to he's the go-between between her and the Connect, and she gets blindfolded when she goes there. My question is this. Are we going to see this kid again? Let me know what y'all think. I think he like her, and I think something going to be popping with them. I hope so. Anyway, it comes by Jackie's house, and she tells her that Charmaine is in New York and she's picking up some fentanyl, and they could catch her and Frankie this time. And Jackie thinks this is BS, so she's not trying to hear him. So Ray apologizes to her, but he tells her this is real information. He's getting it from Renee. So Ray tells Jackie how important this is because now Renee's safety is involved, her life. So Ray tells Jackie that he loves Renee and that he's worried about her safety. And then he shows Jackie a picture of Chaluta. And Chaluta was at her house last week. So she tells Ray that. And now she's kind of on board. She's starting to believe his story. So they're going to go to Santel and try to set up a meet and talk about what they might do next. So Santel sees Ray and he's like, oh, hell no, I'm not going for this again. You trying to lose your job messing with this dude. But Ray humbles himself and he apologizes. Ray lets Santel know that Charmaine's in New York. And they put a plan in motion. They're going to watch the bridges. They're going to put somebody at the bridges or at two bridges. And they got Jackie in the water. So Jackie goes to see Ed Murphy. She humbles herself. She apologizes. And now everybody's on board. But so even Ed Murphy is getting down with this thing. Everybody can't stand Ray. Even Ed Murphy don't like Ray because, you know, Ray got Jackie shot by Osito. So we're going to see how all of this plays out. It was funny when Ed Murphy called Ray a clown. So it's Ray, Jackie, and Ed Murphy on the boat. So they're doing the water. They will be checking boats that are coming from New York. So they're trying to see if there's any boats that's on their way in transit coming from New York to the Cape. Then they had Leslie Babcock at one bridge and Santel at the other bridge. So Ray spots a ferry is coming in from Boston, and him and Jackie get off the boat and decide to search the ferry as it docks before everyone gets off the boat. But they do not find Charmaine. So Charmaine is on the bus. The bus is coming over the bridge. It's traffic on the bridge and the bus comes to a complete stop. Charmaine sees what's going on. Charmaine sees that the police are at the other end and they checking cars. Santel finds out that Charmaine wasn't on the ferry. So Jackie still is told to still keep looking. Santel sees the bus doors open and he looks and he sees Charmaine get off the bus and she takes off running. Santel take off running and he chasing her and she moving like a track star. She moving like a track star and it's the state police down at the other end and she's cornered. She can't go nowhere. And Santel doesn't want her to get hurt, so he tries to talk her down. But she's not going to go out without a fight. And I don't mean it like it's either fight or flee. She's really going to still try to run at this point. And she tossed the dope over the bridge. But they get her. They apprehend her and she gets arrested. Man, my girl Charmaine got arrested. So Jackie, Ed Murphy, and Ray find out that Charmaine has been apprehended at the bridge. They didn't get Frankie. So now Ray's in a panic because he's worried about Renee. So he leaves because he wants to get to Renee before Frankie does. Meanwhile, Frankie is at the bus station waiting for Charmaine to get off the bus. But he don't see her. He waiting. He's looking at all the people get off. She don't get off. But then he starts observing his surroundings. And he's starting to see cops. He see 1 cop, 2 cop, 3 cop. And he gets out of there. Frankie leaves. No one sees him. He hides his face. Then he calls Chaluto and gives him a next step. And Chaluto and Renee leave the house. So now she doesn't know what's going on. She can't use her phone. She doesn't have a phone anymore. So she doesn't know what's the next move. And she's afraid. She's terrified. Chuluto tells her that they're going for a ride. And she says, I thought we were supposed to stay here. And he says, plans change. Now, she's been around long enough to know Frankie's business. So she knows that this might not end well for her. Santel, Jackie, and Charmaine are in the interview room. Santel lets Charmaine know what she's facing. She's facing some time. She's 18. Santel lets Charmaine know that this is a Class A felony. She'll be charged as an adult unless she could give up Frankie or her connect from New York, and she could start a new life somewhere. She's not talking. She says she wants a lawyer, and Santel loses it. Look at Jackie's face when Santel was screaming on her. Charmaine stuck to her guns like a G, but she's looking at a lot of time if she get hit with all those bodies. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Is she making a good move by not saying anything? Or should she go with the deal and get a fresh new start? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. So Santel gets a call from his friend at the DOC. He lets Charmaine know that it's somebody that's locked up that wants to make a deal. And he gives her 3 more seconds to talk, and she's not budging. So he leaves Charmaine there with Jackie. So now Jackie and her have a conversation. They're from the same hood, a couple of blocks away from each other. But Charmaine is like, I'm not talking, so you could go too. And she says, I know you're not talking. I don't even know why he left me here. But they have a little conversation. And Jackie explains to Charmaine that Frankie killed a lot of people, 2 females that she cared about, and that he would do that to her too if he has the chance. So Santel gets to the jail, and Osito's there with his lawyer and the warden. And he wants to make a deal, and he wants to have a bail hearing so he could get out on bail. And he tells Santel that he has information. And Santel is straight up with him. He said, if you don't give me any information, I'm going to put you right back in Gym Pop if you got to wait in the hallway to get a cell. So Osito is like, he wants this deal, and he said he wants the same deal that a white man would get. So he lets them know about the cranberry bogs on 6A and that he's going to find some bodies there. And he lets them know that one of the bodies is the pilot. He says it's more bodies than that. And he was like, it's not an exact location, but he tells them where in the vicinity the bodies may be. So Santel, I think, is going to give him a deal where he gets bail. I feel like Osito had to make this deal because he know that Frankie's about to get locked up. And his life is on the line if he's staying there. So he needs to just fight his case outside. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Ray done broke into Frankie and Renee's house. Now this is some kind of stalkerish kind of. And he looking in their bedroom. He looking at the pictures. But Renee's not there. So he's getting even more worried. Ray gets a call from Jackie. And Jackie tells them that there are bodies. They found bodies. And she's on the way to the scene now. And she tells him where it is and to wait for her. Frankie shows up at Renee's mother's house to get Frankie Jr. And he's so nasty. He walks through her house, doesn't even speak, doesn't explain anything, picks the little boy up, wakes him up out of his sleep, and leaves. And then she tries to stop him, and he yells at her and tells her to get the F off of him. Leslie Babcock's at the scene when Jackie and Ray arrive. And Leslie's like, oh, hell no, you brought him? Everybody mad at Ray. He's like, I don't want to hear this right now. And there's 2 bodies there. Lance Houston and Daisy's body. Jackie breaks down when she sees Daisy's body. And she's kind of upset that she was right. So Jackie wants to go and arrest Frankie, but Santel is telling them that they don't have enough on them. They just got the bodies and they can't really connect it to him. And Ray lets Santel know that he might kill Renee. Then they hear, we got another body. This body is not in the same location as Daisy and the pilot. This body is Jorge's body and it's not buried the same. It's not shot the same. So they said this body is a different MO. So they kind of believe that Frankie did it, but they're not sure. Question is, do you think that they are going to connect Renee to Jorge's body? Chuluto is walking behind Renee, and he's not telling them where they're going, but I think she's trying to figure it out. But he's leading her to where Jorge's camper was, where Frankie showed her where that hidden money was. So she gets there, and Chuluto's like, Frankie said you would know what to do. And she gets the money. Then her and Chuluto head to the club. She gets to the club and she gets to the office. She sees Frankie Jr. and Frankie there. And Frankie tells her that we have to leave town because the Cape is burnt. We can't stay here anymore. And we have to start a new life in Dominican Republic. And she's like, my life is here. I don't want to go there. My whole life is here. And he's like, we can't stay here. He hears, I believe, a car screeching, and he has a whole bunch of ruckus outside. So he tells her to stay in the office, and he goes out to check it out, him and Chuluto. And he's tackled like a football player tackled him. I thought it was Ray, but it's not. And they arrest him. So Ray says something slick to him when he was walking past him, and Frankie loses it. Now, when he's in a police car, he sees Ray hugging on Renee and his kid there. So I want to know what are going to be the consequences for Renee's actions with Frankie. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. This was a good episode. It was fire. So that was my review of Hightown Small Craft Warning. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the hammer because you can't buy. Ow. And please answer the questions in the comments. And stay tuned for my next video. Ow. Later.